Guys, I'm live.
What's up, guys?
Ha! For those that don't know, I went live last night, kind of late, later than I typically would. Um, all right, I'm going to tell another story. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of an accident that took place at a workplace that I used to work out that actually no longer exists anymore. Let's get right into it. So, back in 2013, I used to work in a warehouse. And in this warehouse, it was just your typical distribution center. Um, we did some unique things though. Not only did we to explain a little bit about the job. So there was different positions, many positions in this warehouse. You had packing or shipping and receiving. You had people that were building cabinets, and what we ultimately did was build displays for different companies. So we could build displays for places in the mall. We could build displays for movie sets. We would make countertops for Pet Boys. We would really do it all when it comes to building. So we worked with many different materials: wood, granite, metal, steel, all kinds of stuff. So on this very day, I had to work on a CNC machine and I was doing laminating. So if you don't know what laminating is, it's kind of a style that's kind of fizzled out. Some things are still laminated, like you'll still find desktops that are laminated. Uh, let's see, what's a good example? What are some things maybe like some kitchen counters, some cheap kitchen counters will be laminate. It's basically like a thin layer, like an enamel type material that will go on top of the surface to make it appear like like a certain type of surface. So if you wanted maybe some marble texture, but not real marble, you would go the cheap route and you would laminate it. So anyway, I'm working on this lamination machine, and it's a very long machine. There's a process with glue. You have to type it in the little computer, program it, and then once you set it, it's like, to explain it a little more, I would so this machine would laminate all types and phases of wood. But to give you a visual, let's just say that this was uh, my cabinet door, right? Like a door to, like, maybe a cubby or a cupboard or something like that. Whatever, things that you have in your kitchen where you get your glasses out of. Let's just say one of those doors. Well, anyway, I was laminating stuff like that, and it was about this size. I mean, I had different pieces, small pieces to sizes like this. And what I would do is I would take the edge, right? And if this was the conveyor belt right here, I would run it along and it would laminate the sides for me. So I could do all corners, and I'd have to spin it around. And with the glue and everything, it would do it for me. So you don't have to do it by hand. That was the whole, you know, idea for the laminate machine. That's how it was programmed to run. So I have my piece like this, and like I said, many different pieces, and I'm running it through the laminate machine. And that's fine, but every now and then it gets clogged, and you have to check and see if you have enough glue and you have enough laminate to cover the job that you're doing. So sometimes you have to clean it. You have to go behind the machine. You have to stop it. You have to clean it. The glue builds up, so you got to take like a flathead or a chisel, and you got to, work this little spindle that was behind. And the guts of the machine, it was opened up so that you could get in there easily. There was a flap, but it was opened up and taken off so that I didn't have to worry about lifting it up or unscrewing it. I could just walk behind the machine and fix it to my to how it needed to be fixed. I was trying to find a word there, I couldn't find, but to my preference, I could fix it and do whatever I wanted to do. But yeah, so every so often the glue would build up, the laminate would run out, and I'd have to grab a whole new pack of laminate and I'd have to scrape the glue off the spindle. Well, the thing about it is, because the spindle, it's kind of like, how can I explain it? Kind of like the guts of a clock, you know. like an old school clock, with the spindles kind of like this. So there'd be a post like this where the laminate would go around, and think of it like tape. So almost like bubblegum tape, just to kind of give you a visual, So it would kind of like pull, and it would get smaller and smaller and smaller until you run out. And yeah, that's how it looked. It looked like film almost. But there's other working mechanisms that were like really close by. So I had to open it up. Well, it was already open, but I had to scrape the glue off, which was not a problem, but I had to fix something. Something was like, I think it was the laminate that was jammed, right? I want to say. So I had to fix the laminate. And so I'm popping this thing off, I'm putting a new one on, and it's, it's easy to put it on there, but there's like all these tight mechanisms. So to give you another visual, if this is the metal post that I got to put the laminate on, there's a post that was right next to it, kind of like, it was like a secondary post, but it would help with the whole peeling of the tape. Trying to find a better word. It would, how do I explain this? It would, all right, so here's the spindle and here's the secondary spindle. So here's the main spindle that you put the laminate on, and then the second one was kind of like close like that, like a pinky width finger away. And that would, for whatever reason, just help maintaining the laminate. So it was that close. So I had to change it, and I scraped the glue. That was no problem. Kind of a bitch, took a minute, whatever. It was hot and warmed up. So for the most part, it came off. So then when I put the new laminate on, somehow my finger got pinched. And here's the thing that I want to say. It's like, even though I stopped the machine, the spindle would keep spinning. Now I could completely shut the machine down, like completely reset it, but there was no danger, so I thought, like no threat in letting the spindle just move, So I could just throw the tape over. I mean, what's it gonna do? It's just this round spindle. It's just this metal round spindle. And so I throw the tape on there, and but I will say it was jammed, so I had to unjam the tape that was remaining from the last one. So I unjam it, and as I'm like pushing the rest of this tape out, this laminate, my finger catches in between the spokes, right? So you have that space again that I said that was like this. My finger gets caught in there. I don't remember which finger it was. It might have been this one, I think. Anyway, so my finger gets caught in it. Oh, you know what? Yeah, it was this one. So my finger gets caught in it, and it immediately grabs me and pushes me pulls me to the machine. So my chest smashes into this big ass CNC machine. And I mean, with force, it just like nothing, just pulls me into the damn thing. And naturally, my instinct was to pull my finger away. But when I pulled my finger away, it tore my finger open. I mean, the ligaments, everything, completely wide open. Soon as I get my finger free, I'm gushing blood. Like, blood is just all over my hand. I quickly grab a paper towel, wrap my finger around it. I'm squeezing my finger. More blood is just like coming onto my other hand. And I'm walking to the front of the office. Not to the office, but like to the bathroom. But the office is like right next to the bathroom. And one of our top managers happened to be right near the bathroom when I walk over there. And it's pretty bad. I mean, blood is gushing down my hand. It's onto my other hand. It's dripping onto the floor. So I have this blood trail going from my workstation all the way to the bathroom. And I mean, I knew it was bad right away, but I didn't know how bad it was. And unfortunately, I ran right into the manager. Now, boss man, he was in his office, but again, the office is like right there, and he had bay windows, so he could oversee everything that's going on. He could see anything from the back of the warehouse to the front. Now, I will say at the very back of the warehouse, if you went around the corner, it was blind. So you couldn't see unless you walked around. But he could see everything that was going on in the main area of the warehouse, and that's where I was. I was kind of like on the back wall of the main warehouse. So he comes out because he hears my manager go, "Oh my God, what happened?" Because again, I'm just bleeding. And I literally look at this man with the audacity and I say, "Oh, I just got a little cut." And this dude's looking at me like, "What? Dude, you got more than a cut. What's going on?" I'm like, it's fine. I gotta try to, shimmy away. And I go into the bathroom and I clean it up and, I put some more paper towels on it and I walk out. Again, it's just bubbling up and it's bleeding. And, it's like dark red because it's deep. So, it's bad. And I don't know if you know of the term bubbling up, but when you got a cut that's really bad, it does this thing where it bubbles. But anyway, that's what was happening with my hand. And of course, they wanted to see it, and my whole finger was just a mess. But shortly after, one of the guys were like, "I'm going to drive you to the hospital. It's fine. You got to go." But I was seriously like, "You know what, guys? I'm going to thug it out. I'm just going to put some tape over it. Don't take me to the hospital." Because I think at that time I didn't have health insurance. But also, it was a Friday, and I wanted to get done. We were like halfway through the day. Actually, over halfway through the day. So it's payday for me. Not only is it payday, but it's a Friday. And I'm just like, look, I have a little bit of work done. I'll get it done and then I'll worry about it. But they were pretty persistent on me going to the hospital. And even one of the coworkers were like, "I'll drive you." So basically they made me go to the hospital. But I ended up, once I got there, I went to like what do you call it? Like a little minute clinic, whatever the hell you call those things, medical clinics. I go there, I'm waiting. I got this dry paper towel on my hand. The blood has soaked in, and it's excruciating because when they finally do call me, which was like after an hour of being there, which was crazy, by the way, I go back, they peel this, this piece of paper, this paper towel that's like dried and stuck to my finger. They peel that off and they scrub it, and it was some pretty excruciating pain. But I ended up getting like 8 stitches, and I think I got like a shot for like tetanus even. It was a pretty horrible experience because I didn't have a clean cut. Like, it's not like it sliced me. Like, the force of me pulling my finger from the machine tore my finger open and tore nerves and other ligaments that were in my finger. So it felt like my hand was on fire. And so, yeah, they patched me up. They what do you call it? I was gonna say sew. Well, essentially, yeah. They stitched me up, and that's pretty much the end of that. And I get out of there. They wrapped my whole hand up. They gave me some some painkillers or whatever to stop it. And man, the aftermath of that, I remember laying on my couch and being in such excruciating pain. It just felt like my hand was on fire. And I think that's because of me like tearing it, But man, I don't have any like visible scars now, but it was a pretty bad situation. And I'm lucky that I didn't lose my whole hand, because when these 2 spindles, because the one's moving and the one's stationary, when it sucked my finger in there, it was such force. You know what I mean? Not only did it like pull me to the machine, but it was such force that if I didn't pull my hand out when I did, like pull my finger out when I did, I would have lost my whole hand. Like, it was that bad. So I have a story that's similar to this, working at Gennardi's. It's a grocery store. I'll tell that another time. But yeah, I almost lost my hand working on a CNC machine, laminating. And it was pretty terrible. But yeah, that's my story. That's what I wanted to tell. Hopefully it came out okay. I did my best to try to explain to people that aren't really familiar with those type of machines. So
You know, hopefully I broke it down for you and you understood what I was talking about, like when I was describing the guts of it and how it worked and everything. But yeah, it was pretty bad. So that's my story. And all right, gotta go to work now. I will see you guys later. All right.